Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today I have for you a little earring tutorial. It's a bead weaving earring, and it's using these long kind of tube beads or barrel style beads. Now, I've made a couple of different ones. This is actually the second one that I made. This is the first one that I made, and I really like the way this one turned out a whole lot better than this one, even though they're both kind of cute. But I wanted to show the difference in the sizes of beads and how it makes the earring look when you change them. So these beads are kind of twisted, and they cause it not to sit totally straight. These beads are completely straight. They're not twisted like that, like the curly. I mean, these are like twisted around a little bit. So we're going to make the other one to this one today. So if you're interested in that, I just wanted to show the difference. I mean, you can use, like if you have some long beads like this, you can use about anything because these are way bigger than these, but I do not think they turned out as well. So we're going to make the other one to this one today, and I think this turned out really cute, and I'm calling these the Jasmine earrings because they remind me of something that you would see in the movie Aladdin, but Aladdin, of course, does not wear earrings, so I'm naming them Jasmine. So these are the Jasmine earrings, and I think they turn out really cute, so they're super simple to make. So if you want to make these, you're going to need some kind of these long thin beads. You could even use bugle beads, I would say. Now I got these at Michael's. If you watched my Michael's haul, you'll see these on there, and I just thought they were really pretty, and this is actually what I had in mind for them. So yeah, I like these really well. But there's all kinds, I mean, all kinds of like long kind of thin beads that I think you could use. I think as long as they're straight and they don't do this twisty thing like these do, they'll work out just fine. Okay, so there's those. And then I've got some 8mm bicones for the tops here. I've got some 11O seed beads, and you'll need very few 15O seed beads, like literally like 8. Not very many at all. And then you're going to need an ear wire, which I've neglected to pull out, so let me do that really quickly. There we go. Okay, and then you're going to need your needle threaded on to about, I don't know, I've probably got 24 inches of thread here of just black fire line. Okay, so like I said, these are super easy. Let me grab out some of these seed beads. So the first thing you're going to do, let me separate these out of the way, is you're going to pick up 3 of your seed beads, your 11Os, 3 of those, 1 of your long beads, and 3 more 11Os. Okay, so just like this. Then you're going to bring all that down to the bottom of your thread. Leave a small tail, just enough to tie a knot. And you can put a bead bug on there if you want to. I just opened this drawer and realized I need to clean this drawer out. I'll do that when this video is done. Bead bugs make the world a better place. I'm telling you, these things are so worth the money that you spend on them because they've saved me so many times from my beads falling off my thread. Okay, so you're going to pick up another of your long beads, and you're going to go right up through from the bottom. So you got your long bead on your needle. You're going to go back up through these 3 seed beads, your first long bead, and the second group of seed beads. Okay? And when you do that, it's going to set that one right beside the first one, just like this. Okay? Then you're going to go down through the long bead that you just put on. And you should have this right here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tie my knot just to get this tail out of the way because it drives me crazy. So just go ahead. I'm going to tie a regular overhanded knot. And then I'm going to do a surgeon's knot, which is just going through your loop twice with your thread like that. And pull tight. Okay? And I'm going to cut that off here in just a second. So you're coming out the bottom of this bead. You need to pick up 3 seed beads, 1 long bead, and 3 more seed beads. Whoops. Okay, so here's what you've got. Just like that. You're going to go back around through the top of the second bead that you put on. So you're coming out the bottom right here. You're just going to go around through the top of it and down. Get your tail out of the way. I'm going to cut that off. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't right beside it when I did. Okay, now I am going to cut that tail off because if I don't, it's going to be in my way the entire time. I hate tails on my jewelry. I hate trying to bead weave with a tail. Okay, so if you can see now, you're coming out the bottom of your second bead. Sew through these 3 seed beads right here, just like that, and back up through this long bead. Okay, and here's what you've got. Pick up 3 seed beads, your last long bead, and 3 more seed beads. Okay, so that's what you have on your needle. Pull them down. And you're coming out the top of this long bead, you want to go back up through the bottom, just like this. Okay, and pull tight. Okay, then you're going to go through, see you're coming out the top of this bead, you're going to sew through these 3 seed beads, just like this. Okay, now you should have 4 little beads in a row and some seed beads. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to bend them around to where the first bead and the last bead are touching each other, just like this. Okay, I'm going to go down through this long bead, just like this. Pick up 3 seed beads and go back up through the long bead directly across. So you're coming out of your last one, you're going to pick up 3 seed beads and go up through your first one, just like this. Okay, and here's what you've got. Now pick up 3 seed beads, 3, and you're coming out of the top of your very first bead, go back down through the top of the very last bead. And don't go through the seed bead, just go through the top of the bead and out the bottom. Okay, so when you do that, you should have 4 little cute or long beads in a square connected by the seed beads all along the top. Now you're going to need your 15s, so grab them out. So you're coming out of the top of this bead. You need to sew through, see where you're coming out right here? Right out of the top of this bead, you need to sew through these 3 seed beads. Just stay with your thread path, okay? Grab a 15, put it on your needle, there it is, mine's tiny, and sew through the next 3 seed beads, just like this. Okay. Grab a 15 and sew through the next 3 seed beads, just like that. Grab a 15 and sew through the next 3, and grab a 15 and sew through the last 3. And you can come out that 15 if you want, because we're going to sew back around through everything here. Except for my needle doesn't seem to want to come out through that 15. Well, we won't then. We'll just go around and then get in there. Okay, so now you should have a little square and all your corners are filled in. So I'm going to go through this 15, those 3 11s. I'm just reinforcing all this is doing, and it makes your earring just a little more sturdy. And then this 15, those 3 11s, and the next 15. You're just sewing back around it, the whole thing. Through these 3 11s, that 15, and through these 3 11s. And don't go out the 15, just go through those 3 11s, okay? Now, this is going to drive you guys crazy, but what you need to do I'm sorry, not yet. Go down through, you're coming out right here. See, you're coming out of these 3 11s. Go down through the long bead right there beside where you're coming out. Okay? So you went through these 3. You weren't through that 15. You just go down through the long bead right here. So that puts you coming out the top here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sew through these 3 seed beads. Now don't catch this one. See, each one has 3. In between these 2 long beads, there's 3. In between these 2 long beads, there's 3. So you want to go through these 3 right here. Just like that. And we're going to do the same thing. Pick up a 15. Sew through these 3. Okay. Pick up a 15. Sew through these 3. Pick up a 15. Sew through these 3. And pick up a 15. And sew through the last 3, and you can go ahead through that 15 on the end if it'll let you. Okay? And then we're going to do the same thing we did on the top. We're just going to sew all the way around the square again. So just go, let's see, I missed the 15. Got to make sure that you catch all the beads or it won't square up right. So go through there. Go through these 3 and the 15 on the end of it. And through these 3, 15 on the end of it. Whoops. Jerk your work off the table. And go through these last 3. And don't come out the 15, just go through the 3. Okay, so here's what you've got. Now, this is what I was going to say will drive people crazy. You're just going to take your needle and thread and go straight down the middle of the whole thing. Just like this until you're coming out the top. See? Just like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take a bicone, 6, 4, 5, 6 11-ohs, just like this. That's going to set your bicone right down on top, and you're going to count back and go through the very first seed bead and the bicone. So you don't go back through, let me lay this down so you can see it. You don't go back through these 5, you just go back through this one, the first one, and the bicone. And when you do that, it's going to make a little loop just like that. Okay? So now you're coming out the bottom. You're going to pick up your bicone and 1 seed bead. Pull them down. Now you're coming out of this seed bead. You're going to don't go back through the seed bead. You're going to go around, miss it out, and go back through the bicone. See? Just like this. And then you're going to come out the bicone and the seed bead on the other end. If I can get it to do it, which I know I can because I did it last time. So you miss out the seed bead, you go back through the middle. It's a little tricky because you can't see what you're doing. But there we go. And so you're coming out the bicone and the first seed bead. See? Just like this on the other end. And pull tight. Now here you want to make sure everything's pulled up tight. Squish it down, make sure it's pulled up tight. And we're going to sew around and reinforce this loop. So just sew around all the seed beads. You should already be coming out the first one. Go through the second and third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Well, I can only get through the fourth and the fifth. We'll have to do the sixth. Now we're going to go back through this one, And then you're going back through that first seed bead, the bicone, and all the way back through and out the other end. We're just reinforcing is all we're doing, okay? So here you have it. You're going through the first seed bead, the bicone, all the way through and out the other end where the other bicone is. Pull tight. Okay? Now, you want to go through the seed bead and then back down through the bicone, and I know it's going to leave thread, but you're not going to see it. Back down through the bicone and out the side like this. Okay? See? And you can't see the thread there. And you're coming out the side right here. So what you're going to do now is you're going to go in between two of these seed beads and you're going to make a knot. Now make sure you stay in between the two seed beads, just like that. I'm going to do a surgeon's knot, same place, which is just going through the middle twice. And just make sure that it goes in between those two beads. And then you're going to sew around through a couple of the beads. And there you have it. That's your earring. So you can cut that off. And then we're going to take our chain nose pliers and open up our ear hook. And we're just going to put it right on there. Easier said than done. I never open up my loops wide enough. That's my problem. And then close it back up here. And there you have it. A cute little pair of Jasmine earrings. So I really like these. I thought they turned out absolutely adorable. And like I said, you can use any kind of long bead that you have. I have some bugle beads that might work, some thicker bugle beads. And then here in my weird odd-shaped beads, I have these little cuboid beads, which I think would work as well. It would just make a teeny weeny little earring. It'd be kind of cute. So they're tiny. But what else do I have in here that might work? Just any kind of long bead like that. That's the reason that I bought these from Michael's, because I had this idea in mind, but I don't see any more that look like they would work. But any kind of long, you know, just long, thin bead. I might try it with bugle beads and see, but I'm pretty sure that they would work as well. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and you want to make some of these little earrings, because I think they turn out really, really cute. So, if you did enjoy the tutorial, please like it and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any beading friends, go ahead and tell them about it, and maybe they'll like and subscribe too. But y'all have a great rest of the evening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.